Hello, hello. It is me, Dr. Tiff, and this is Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. This is going to be a very interesting episode. It is going to be a very, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this is right now. What I do know is that today is day 28 of the One Within 30-Day Journaling Challenge, and I am doing my best to see this thing through with you guys and honor my commitments. Right now, if you are watching this on YouTube, then you are seeing your girl in her car, okay, recording a podcast episode because we have made it to the final stretch of days. We only have a few days left. And I decided that if I'm going to do it at this point, I got to do the 30 days. So, because we're at day 28. So I got to do it. And so the only way I could fit this into my schedule today was to do it in my car. So here we are. We're at day 28 of the One Within 30-Day Journaling Challenge. And I am in my car. I've got about 15-20 minutes before I have to pick up my daughter from school. I just drove across town. I had an interview earlier in the day. I had, some stuff to return at the mall. I had some other stuff to pick up. I got lunch, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to go all the way back home before I have to pick her up from drum practice. So here we are. And I am stretched today. I'm not going to lie. I'm completely and utterly stretched. But like I said, if I did not do this in this moment while I am sitting here, I can't say that it was going to get done. Of course, where there's a will, there's a way. I probably would have found a way. But right now, I'm making the most efficient use of my time and getting this done because I have made the commitment. At day 28, I'm finally making the commitment to do this for 28 days. So excuse the camera angles. Most of you won't see it. If you're listening on audio, you're probably listening to this in your cars, on your favorite podcasting platforms. But if you watch the podcast on YouTube, which some of you do, and I appreciate that, then you will see me in my car, hair all wild, just, trying to make it through. Okay, trying to make it through. So today, like I said, is day 28 of the One Within 30-Day Journaling Challenge, 28 of 30. And today we are celebrating wins, which is another reason why it was easy for me to just go ahead and do this one, knock this out in the car, because it is a joyous journal prompt. I'm hoping that you guys are able to look back over the past 4 weeks and see how much progress you've made. Just even sticking with it 4 whole weeks, 28 days of showing up for yourself, for committing to yourself, for doing this work to improve not only your love life, but just your personal life, your relationships, all of your relationships across the board, really looking at the insights of how you're showing up for yourself, how you're showing up for others. I mean, that, friend, is a win. So if you can't figure out anything else to say, you can say that. Okay. I just gave that one to you though. So make something else up. All right. Today is all about celebrating wins. Okay. Here's the prompt. You've grown so much in the past 4 weeks. It's time to list out your wins, big or small, from the last month. Let's see how you've grown. I'm going to read it again. You've grown so much in the past 4 weeks. It's time to list out your wins, big or small, from this past month. Let's see how you've grown. Now, some of you have realized and recognized that the growth was almost at an instant. You started to realize even in the first couple of prompts, like even on the days where the prompts took you through it, that was growth. That was growth. Even the little stuff where you started to recognize your baggage or your triggers or the things that you keep, the patterns you keep repeating, the habits that you bring into relationship and blame somebody else for. When you start to recognize those things, that's growth, because the old you wasn't recognizing it at all. It just kept happening and you felt like it was happening to you. You didn't realize I'm kind of responsible for this happening in my relationships. Okay. And once you acknowledge and you have the insight to understand that you are responsible for at least half of what's happening in your relationships, then you can be responsible for it and change those things if you want to, right? You still have a choice if you want to. So I think that that is a humongous win to understand and know that I have more clarity, have more insight into why I'm doing the things that I've been doing. I have a lot more insight into how I keep attracting the same type of person in relationship. Because again, I think many of us feel like especially if we have a particular type that keeps kind of showing up for us, and we keep finding all the men. Halle Berry said this a long time ago, some interview where she said, she could pick the wrong one out of a lineup. Like she had a history of just picking the wrong men, and not only would she pick them, she would she would meet them, date them, fall in love, want to marry. Like that's her thing. And so what I'm telling you is, when you recognize that that is what you're doing and not what is being done to you, those people are not just finding you and flocking to you. Okay. You don't repeatedly, they're not just attracted to you. There is something that you are doing or not doing that calls them in. And this whole process has been about identifying your own stuff, becoming more aware of all of the things that you bring with you into relationship. Yes, you fine. Yes, you pretty. Yes, you smart. Yes, you got it going on. Yes, you got the great job. But there are other things that we bring with us that is attracting what we don't want. And so we have to figure out what those things are. And we have to fix those things. We have to work through those things. We have to confront those things. And it's once we do that, we're shedding layers of what is not of us, is not our best self, is not what we want to, lead with. And we start calling in something that is a lot more aligned, someone that is a lot more aligned with who we truly are and who we wish to be going forward. So I want you to concentrate on today's journal prompt and really look at the big and the small. Maybe it's just a revelation. Maybe it's just insight, or maybe you've made a dramatic change over the past few days and weeks. And so whether it's big to you, whether it's small to you, everything is a win. Just completing the process is a win. So I am super excited to hear more about what those wins actually are. If you would like to share them with me, I would love to share them as well. I'd love to read them, but I'd also love to share them. So one of the things I think I want to do as we wrap up the challenge is share wins. So if you have a win, if you've been going on this challenge with me, if you're officially a part of the One Within 30-Day Journaling Challenge and you're part of my teachable group, go into this journal prompt after you've done it, after you completed the work, and type along the comments underneath the prompt and let me know some of your wins. I would like to share them. They can be anonymous. I'm not going to, unless you want me to call you out. I'm not going to say your name, but I would like to share with our community, with our extended community, what those wins are so that we can all celebrate you, because it's major. Tell us what your wins, big or small, are in this process. Now, if you are not part of the One Within 30-Day Challenge, you just happen to be listening to Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff, but you like to share your wins anyway because you've gotten something out of each day's journal prompt that we've done here on the podcast, all you got to do is go to the show notes of the podcast, and up at the top, it's going to say something like, did you enjoy this episode? If so, send me a text and let me know. Just click the button where it says send me a text, and it will text the podcast. I'll get a notification and you can drop your win there. Okay. So either way, no excuses. Let me know your wins. I'm excited to hear about it. Okay. This has been Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. Day 28, tomorrow's day 29, and then guess what? We got 30, and we done, okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful day, guys. I love you so much. Bye-bye.